Well, I've just been to my personal trainer again at the gym. My energy is really good. It's the first time in about 35 years. Well, first time in about 33 years that I've been able to consistently do some heavy weights without fatiguing. Even though I went to the specialist, bear in mind, I have had ulcerative colitis, not bad, but I've had ulcerative colitis for about 20 years, and I was told to go on medication for life. And I was told that because my mother had died from colon cancer, my father had a colostomy and also had ulcerative colitis before most people had heard of it. I was told to go on medication for life. After about 2 years, I decided no, I was going to heal myself and go the natural way. And I did that, including going abroad in the winter to get more vitamin D, to eat more healthily, until I actually discovered keto and really cutting down on carbs. My appetite, I was always hungry, I was always eating, I was always thinking about food, but that changed about 7 years ago, when I started going a lot more keto, high fat, high protein, although I've never done high protein. Now, I'm just about to turn 64, I've started doing proper weight training. When I say proper, I mean I'm a beginner. Obviously I've done Pilates and I've had burnout from doing exercise in my late 20s and my 30s. So here's what I want to share today. I went to the specialist and I said to him, I was really shocked when I came in today. I said, because he's telling me again, I need to go back on medication for life. I said, but I've just spent the last 18 years not on medication. He said, your ulcerative colitis, the ulcers in your colon have gone from being very low down in the rectum, which I can never feel unless I'm having a flare up. He said, they've gone up a little bit. He said, it looks like previously they've been very angry. He said, however, he said, although it's not really bad, he said, it's significant and you need to go on medication. And I said, well, why don't I take Slippery Elm and just up things a little bit? And his response was, we are not a herbalist here. And I said, but it's inflammation. Surely my lifestyle, you know, I can sort it like that and take Slippery Elm and cut down on anything else I need to cut down on. I'm sure I can find a few things. And I said, this is inflammation. And I said, to be honest with you, oh, that's it. And he said, this is not a herbalist. We're not herbalists here. And I'm like, well, I said, to be honest, if you've got inflammation, I said, I was quite surprised to find that when I walked in the hospital, the first thing I saw was sugary cakes. Like the whole counter was just full of bright pink donuts and all sorts of sugar. I said, that's really bad for inflammation. Do you know what he said to me? I'm still coming down on what he said to me because I was so shocked. What he said to me, I just felt like I was literally living in an alternate reality. He said to me, and this is a tall, appears to be grounded specialist, you know, consultant, who is looking like he's in his authority, owning the hospital, you know, he was that sort of presence. He said to me, most of my patients are malnourished. Most of my patients are malnourished. And so as long as they're eating something, I'm okay with that. And I thought I'd heard him wrong. And I said, pardon? And he said it again. He said, most of my patients are malnourished. Why do I want to say malnourished? Malnourished. And so I'm happy for them to eat anything. And if that's what they need to eat, that's what they need to eat. And I just thought, I was stunned. I came home and I was stunned. And I thought, this is the man that wants me to go on medication for life. And in the same breath is telling me that his patients are malnourished and that they need to eat cake if there's nothing else to eat. I mean, what the actual fuck? So it's pushed me even more now in my passion. And I actually said to him, you know, I said to him, if I ever get cancer and I'm doing my best to live a healthy lifestyle, I wouldn't take chemo. I wouldn't do chemo because that's how much I'm passionate about my life and what I do and what I care about. And how I want the world to go forwards is God-given nature, you know, not big pharma chemicals. And especially not if you're giving out information that is absolute fucking BS. And that shows the divide. You cannot have a conversation with somebody who has got such radically opposing beliefs to your own. It's just not going to happen. What do you think?